And you come to my house and we had 6 deadbolts, lock and push the door up under it. And that was my first part of really falling in love with St. Clair County. So Margaret definitely, now Springville's #1 because that's where I am, that's the board that I'll represent. And I will have to represent Springville, and that will be my main mission. But overall, St. Clair County and Margaret definitely has a special place in my heart. But I've met somebody in Moody, I've met somebody in Steele, I've met somebody going through leadership St. Clair County, in Pell City, Argo. My best friend now lives in Argo. And so one thing you'll find out about me is I'll fight tooth and nail to bring back to the best that I can for St. Clair County, not just Springville, but all of St. Clair County. And there's some good things happening too. One thing that you can take out of all of this, there's a lot of movers and shakers in St. Clair County that are trying to make some things happen and bring some things to our county. Even though the tax didn't pass, there are some people out there that are really trying to do some other things, brainstorm and come up with some think tanks to bring some new stuff to us. And so I think the next 10 years, when you look back at all that we've accomplished in St. Clair County, educational-wise, you will be absolutely amazed. The #1 stat that a lot of people didn't realize, and I'm sure I have the numbers messed up a little bit, but our funding level is, what, 117 in the state of Alabama? And then you just saw our report cards come out and what we're doing to get to reach those, with that funding level and those report cards that we're getting out. We're doing some really good things. And I think a large light has been shined on that, and I think a lot of resources. I'm not saying taxes and I'm not saying financial, but I'm saying business and industry and commerce and some new programs and different stuff like that. I think when you look back 10 years from today, in 2028, you're going to be amazed at the things that St. Clair County has accomplished in education.
Yeah, one more minute,
Okay.
one more question.
Yes, sir.
You touched on co-op.
Right.
Or is there any trend, and this probably might be better for them than you, but you brought it up.
Sure.
Trend for trade schools?
Oh,
I mean, you hear this all over the place.
Right.
You got all these companies around here that need those type of workers, but we don't have any trade schools set up.
Right. No, the trend is huge. It's not a trend, it's a pendulum swing. That the career tech and the credentials and getting these young folks, these 18 and 19-year-olds, out into the workforce at the community college level and economic development level, we're constantly researching ways that we can get more people trained. And then the best way to do it, because if you went home right now, if you had a 9th grader, and you went home and you said, hey, listen, I want you to get a credential and I want you to start working, and he's or she's in the 9th grade, they're either going in the MBA, they're going to Harvard, they're going to Yale, so you can't really recruit a 9th grader to think about those credentials. But instead, if you say, on your way to Harvard and Yale, let's get a driver's license, EMT license, so you can work before you apply to med school, or get there's a web app design that you can, 4 classes you can take and get a credential from Apple to be able to develop apps. There's child development credentials, there's teaching credentials, there's all kinds of things. So what we have to do is we have to package them like a pathway on your way to reach these other things that you want to reach, then pick up these credentials and get into the workforce. Stop waiting until you're 25, 26 to get into the workforce. That's been the big problem, is that we've been telling our kids, just wait, make A's, make B's, stay in school, stay in school, stay in school, and then they graduate and they don't have that work ethic, they don't have that grit. And that, it's not a trend. I mean, it is a huge pendulum swing.
But I'm seeing more grassroots work. I'm talking about guys that can lay brick, build a house, work on a car, weld something. Not just not get on the internet and do something.
Right.
Physically get your tail out there and move.
Our most popular program at the community, one of our most popular programs at the community college, other than health related, because we have a heavy health related, is our welding program. Our welding program, we can't fill the seats because we don't have enough booths to teach it. It's a big project to do that, but we're doing some stuff with Garrison Steel through dual enrollment while they're receiving that credential while they're still in high school, so they can start working immediately after high school. And then we're giving them scholarships to come back so they can complete their 2-year degree. And then we're partnering with some 4 years to hopefully that they can get that credential when they graduate from high school, come to us, finish the 2-year degree, and then move on to the 4-year degree after they complete that. But the key is, like what you said, you've got to get in the workforce. You've got to get in the workforce. Yeah, make the good grades, that's important, but you've got to get those life skills, those essential skills, and also that work ethics that's been missing from a lot of our younger youth. And the good news is, and you've heard them talk about Generation X, and then Generation X, or the millennials, where it was the one they said that were kind of missing those work ethics. But they're saying that this next group, Generation Z, is going to come back through and kick the millennials' tail because they saw what the millennials did and they want to right the ship. And that's why I'm telling you, the next 10 years, you're going to see a really huge surgence of students coming out, making waves, new business, new innovations, new jobs, new business owners. We were getting our car, the oil change, and there was a kid there, 24, 25 years old, buying a $50,000 truck. And they said he's been working since he was 18 years old, saving up to buy that $50,000 truck. And those patterns had swung away, and they're coming back. So yes, you're going to see more brick masons. You're going to see more HVAC. Has anybody, if you've had HVAC done at your house recently, you know how much those guys make. And so those availabilities are starting to come back. So
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hyde.
Thank you very much.
Next is Ricky Parker, our newly appointed county commissioner.
I won't take that long. I won't take a minute. I just want to come here and introduce myself. Didn't know there was going to be this big crowd here tonight. I dressed for it, but y'all know I've been wearing suit and tie for that. Now I wanted to introduce myself. We got a big crowd here. My name's Ricky Parker. I'm the New County Commissioner. My district is Moody, Oval, Margaret, Argo, and Spring. But like I've told everybody else, I will represent everybody in this county, not just in my district, but I've been, in the last 2 weeks, I've been on about every road in my district, I think. I spend about 6 hours a day with our engineer riding roads, and then while I'm riding these roads, I'm getting calls from other people who want me to come look at their roads. So I think this job's going to tell looking at roads all the time. But my name's Rick Parker, and most of y'all got my, if you hadn't got, they hadn't got my cards ready yet. I gave y'all, a lot of y'all my phone number if y'all want. Some of you just got it. My phone number is 936-4332. Call me. If I can help you in any way or do anything for you, same for any of y'all in here. If you need me, call me. I'm always available. I'll be there. That's all I'm doing now is a county commission job. I don't do anything else. I'm retired, they said. I'm drawing retirement, I'm retired, but I'm not. But anytime I can help y'all, I'm here. And like I've told y'all before, I will be coming on a regular basis, on a rotation basis to council meetings. But don't hold all your stuff till then for me. If you need me, email me or call me. Thank y'all. I got to go to another meeting.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you coming. Next is Argo citizen Beth King.
I'd like to read a letter that I have addressed to Ann Cowley. Ann, I campaigned for you and voted for you because I believed you would represent the citizens of Argo. Now I believe this is not the case. In the video of the City Council meeting on Monday, February 12th, I saw that you said you'd resign if asked by anyone. Therefore, I'm asking for your resignation from the Argo City Council within 14 days from tonight's meeting. I want to thank you for your previous willingness to serve, and I hope that by resigning you will have more time to pursue your true interests. I've been asked to recognize anyone else who might want to stand in agreement with me with this request.
Next on the agenda is, Amy, did you want to respond to that or anything? Next on the agenda is the audit for our fiscal year 2016-17. It began on the 2nd, the 14th. David Cork, our auditor that did it last year, he's working on that, and I think he said that Casey, he told you he was about finished. He just liked a few more things to be able to have that ready. Next is our safe room for City Hall improvements. Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge.
We sent out approximately a week ago a request for qualifications to 3 different architectural firms that were qualified and have been doing that type of work. We received a reply from one of them stating that they could not entertain our project with the current workload. We did receive a package back from one of the firms today, and then there was an issue with getting the package to the other firm, and we hopefully would correct that and send it out, so it's probably going to be a couple more
Okay. Next is the employee vacation or accrual that was in our employee handbook that we tabled from the last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at that? Does anyone have any comments?
I have a question. I want to read over this again. I'm not clear by the way this thing was outlined. If you go to the bottom of our leave policy, on page 30, it says, so you got a description for vacation leave and then sick leave, and then you move down to that paragraph at the bottom, and it says, an employee can carry over accrued days up into the next calendar year with a maximum number not to exceed 30 days in the calendar year. And then it goes on to say an employee can carry over sick days to the next calendar year with a maximum number not to exceed 30 days. Is that our policy?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So I guess maybe I'm missing something. Does that not cover that carryover of the time?
And that's what I was confused about. That's what I'm asking y'all. Do we need to clarify that, or is this what we already have in the handbook sufficient?
Mayor, if I may comment.
Sure.
If you'll notice the different sections, that provision at the bottom of page 30 applies to sick leave. This is under the title of paragraph or section D, sick leave.
And that was what I was taking from it.
If you wanted, I think the question that was on the table, and I could be wrong, but was whether or not that should also apply to vacation leave. And it should be a similar provision that you all consider to apply to vacation leave. And if you wanted to apply that same policy to vacation leave, you just need to approve it. And there was a question last time as well as to whether or not it needed to be an ordinance, but there was nothing found limiting that to an ordinance. So a simple resolution to adopt that policy, whatever you choose to be the policy, a simple resolution for approval from council can make that happen.
So I'm seeing this just as that's almost a formatting issue, because to me, the paragraph speaks to both. You know, it says, you can carry over accrued days in the next calendar year, not to exceed 30. And then it goes on to say that you can carry on sick days to the next calendar year with a maximum not to exceed 30. So to me, it's kind of covering both things. It's more of a formatting issue, and that it falls under section B instead of falling under section A and B.
And that was my question. That's what I was thinking too, that it should have that also in section A as to the vacation.
That would be 240 hours, and that was your original suggestion last meeting.
And if you look in your packet too, I think, Casey, did you not, I think you put trust funds in there, what they did. And I think the last time Councilman Massey or somebody was suggesting 240, is that what it was?
I was agreeing with that.
We discussed 240, but I thought you originally brought up the 240. I mean, what Trustful does is 320. I don't know that we can afford.
Yeah, and she just gave that to us for comparison as to what Trustful did. So do we want to make a motion to add this to section A as vacation also, the 240?
I would feel comfortable doing that.
I just don't think it explains it very well if, put it down here in B and then not include the 240 up there, or the
I
30.
think that was the intent. It just does need to be clarified for our record keeping.
I'm missing something. Is there 240 in our current policy? Because I don't see that.
No,
No, that's what 30
days.
days, 30 days. If I calculated right, it would be 240 hours. I was just saying hours instead of days. That's all. No, it's okay.
Mayor Brother? I just had something to add. They were just rolling over vacation. So,
We won't make them take
do you want, does the council want to, like, I can go back and look and see what the others previously had that they had saved up and allow them to use that, and then going forward, just maybe have that max number.
Well, I think they would have to be grandfathered in, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So we would have to allow that to happen, and then from this point forward, then start the 240 would be all that they could roll over. Would someone like, is that agreeable with everyone else? Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
So we need to do this in ordinance. Okay.
It's a resolution, you say? That's correct. It's basically it's to split that paragraph in half and apply it to the section.
Well, it would equally apply to vacation and sick leave. That would be, I believe that's the intent of the motion.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Kelly? Yes. Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the 2018 convention approval for clerk, for the city clerk, which is in May the 19th through the 22nd. She is asked to go so that she can attend the clerk schooling during that period of time. And I would like to ask the council if they would like to approve it.
Motion to approve and fund.
And that would include her meals now and her room.
What account are we pulling this money out of?
It's out of the clerk's education.
Okay.
I second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Kelly? Yes. Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next is our business license. I think Mr.
That's
Mack.
me.
Mr. Mack.
We've got the new people that going after our business licenses, but we've got a glitch in it. I talked to Pam about it, I think, but as soon as we got our notice in for our business license, we paid it, sent it in, and, you know, with the issuing fee and everything. But then on February the 4th or 5th, we got a notice from the new people that we were late, and if we didn't have it in by the last day of January, we would have to pay a penalty. Well,
Clerk, Suggs back there, he is the one that's been handling it. He's going to explain to us. I want to question him about
Okay.
that. So he's going to come up and explain to you about what happened during that.
okay, and then the other deal was when we got the notice from the newspaper, there was an additional issuing fee. The city had charged an issuing fee, and then the new company charged an issuing fee, so we were getting a double whammy on the issuing fee.
And they don't have everybody's payments right either.
Okay, he's going to explain
I
what
know there's
happened.
gonna be some stuff to work out with them.
Well, I since he handles that, I asked him to just be here as he explained to everyone what happened.
And the first thing I want to do is apologize to y'all for this, okay? I'll be quick. Get out of your way.
You're my man.
RDS took over, okay? When they took over, before Miss Casey got into her office, we had 3 people in the city clerk's office. One of those people in the city clerk's office sent RDS the information they requested. They sent them the old information. We had a price increase 3 years ago. They sent them the information from the old prices. So that set RDS up when they mailed everybody's payment notices out. They were $50 off. So that put them in a bind. And then when it was published and I went and saw it, I called RDS and I said, oh, we got problems. So RDS made a letter. The letters that they had to mail out to everybody was just explaining to them that the price they started with was wrong by $50. So I'm not defending RDS because I've not dealt with them that much. I think the people who did the business license in the previous years did a great job.
We agree, Tommy.
That was my joke, okay. So RDS is doing the best they can, I feel, at this moment. It's just February. Okay, we're only 2 months into it, so, you know, we really just need to give them time to get all that fixed, to get all the adjustments made. You can actually go online to RDS and make your payments. If new businesses come in, they can still come in here, go through me, set the business license up, and then when they get the renewal, they go through RDS. So we're just taking the time, we're just going one business at a time, trying to get everybody paid up to where they should be. In 2016, just to give you an example where we're at, 2016 in business license, we brought in $238,426. 2017, we brought in $240,322. That's all just business license money for the city of Argo. Right now for 2018, we're at $186,657. We still got 10 months to go. So I think we're right on it where we should be. We may be down a little bit this year. There's a new law that delivery license have gone from, we charged $150 for delivery license. The new law says $100. So we're going to lose $50 per issuance on delivery charges. But that's the state of Alabama, and there's nothing that we can't do anything about that. Alabama Power, our check from them was down $7,000 this year. So, you know, we're behind a little bit, but I think we'll be able to make up, and if we see RDS is not going to do the job, we can go back to the old way. But as of right now, it being in February, I just think we need to sit back, look and see what happens, make sure all their adjustments are made, and then just make that decision.
Okay, well, what I was getting at was my business license notice came, and it was the new amount, but it came, if I understood right, directly from the city. And we paid it before RDS was sending notices out. We didn't know it. We paid it as quick as it came in, you know.
It came through RDS because as a city, we did not send out any business license renewal forms. RDS was responsible for that.
Okay. Well,
So anything you received came from RDS. And like I said, it probably had one price to start with, and then they found out they had the wrong schedule, so they had to send out another letter. I believe Councilman Bowman, I think he got one that was for a contractor for $100 more than what he should. So I mean, they have some issues, but I think as the time goes by and they get everything in line, that they should be where we would expect them to be.
okay, well,
And like I said, if they don't, we can go back.
And they also found us a lot of new, that people that had owed us for 3 or 4 years, right?
One thing that RDS does for us is, like right now, for people who did not pay us in 2017, they're checking the tax records. And if there's any taxes they pay through the state of Alabama in our area, RDS will make them buy a business license. RDS keeps half of that. We get half of it. But even though we're only getting half, we wasn't going to get that money anyway because we didn't know they wasn't buying it. We've had businesses that's going back to 2011 had to pay for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. That RDS has got that money for us. That's just money we would have never received. We do pay RDS for the new license that they're collecting for us for 2018. They get $10 a license. That's what they get for mailing that out, doing the work, mailing them a license back. So they are getting paid to do this, and if we're not happy with them, we just need to, you know, bring that to their attention when we see what's a little bit further down the line, you know.
How has it worked for you, having RDS do that?
Well, because there was a price issue, I've still basically been doing the same work. Because the people, everybody who's bought license in the past has had to come see me, and they know they're wrong. Williams Orchard come in here and, hey, this is wrong. I want to do what's right and pay the right amount. So as people have been coming in, I've still been doing business license, but not as many as I would, you know, in a regular year.
And what has occurred has not been RDS's fault. In their defense, they were just given the wrong information.
In their defense, they were emailed a old schedule, schedule pricing. It was wrong. It was the old price, shouldn't have been mailed to them. Whoever did that shouldn't have done it. They should have come to my office and said, they need this, and that just didn't happen. And it didn't happen, and we didn't know about it until after it was already published.
Right.
So once it was published, we found out, we're fixing it, we're fixing it every day, we get phone calls every day, and we're just taking it a step at a time to fix it.
What I was getting at is, on the notice I got that said I was delinquent, they had added $15 issuing fee, and I had already paid it, and the city of Argo had a $12.50 issuing fee, I think it was. I paid that when I paid for the license, and now I'm getting a bill for their fee, and either Argo issued the license or they did. One of them got the fee coming, but the other one hadn't.
And what I've been telling everybody that's called me, email me your problem, email me that letter. I will directly get with RDS and tell them to take it out of the system. Because you're already paid, you paid on time, you shouldn't have a penalty. I'll handle that. That's something else I've been doing. I do it every day. I call RDS, tell them to fix it. It's not the customer's fault.
I'm happy.
Any more questions, Joe?
And like I said, it's all new. You can go online. It has every price, everything they do for us. I laid these out in case y'all want to get one, you can get one. And any questions during the week, just call me and I'll tell you what's going on. I got a direct line to RDS and we'll just fix the problem.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Mr. Thomas. Okay, next on the agenda is the fire department, our fire chief. I would like to read a letter Chief Platts gave me earlier in the last week. Says, to Mayor and Council, I have proudly worked for the Argo Fire Department for 28 years. I feel like I have been able to make a difference in the community during these years. However, my position here at Argo has become a division point between some council members and some citizens. For this reason, I feel it is best for me to resign and put all of this behind us. This will allow the department to continue to move forward in a positive manner. Please allow this letter to be my resignation. If the council agrees, I will continue to be the fire chief until a new fire chief is found, at which point my resignation will be official to allow the new chief to step in. It has been a pleasure serving the citizens of Argo. The firefighters at the Argo Fire Department are some of the finest firefighters you will ever meet. The memories and experience serves with the department, the memories and experience serving with the department will be cherished for the rest of my life. Thank you, Mike Platts. Okay, would someone like to make a motion to accept Chief Platt's resignation?
I'll make the motion.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
Yes. I asked Mike for his resignation. I'll go to my grave thinking we did the town wrong and we did him wrong. But after so long a time, you've got to get past this kind of stuff. And it's a bitter pill to swallow, but I asked him for his resignation and he agreed to give it to us. I discussed it with Ann and Ronnie. I knew the others it would be acceptable to, but we're unanimous in doing this, I think. It's just time to move on. I've made mistakes and everybody else has made mistakes. And we just got to get on with life.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Okay, that, since he would accepted his resignation, I would also like to read this. I would like to thank Chief Platts for his service to the city of Argo. Countless lives have been impacted by his work in the Argo Fire Department. He has been instrumental in helping to build the Argo Fire Department. His many years of service to the city are greatly appreciated. As new doors open and he moves on to the next chapter of his life, I wish him and his family the best. With Chief Platt's resignation, the city must move forward and fill the position of fire chief for the safety and welfare of our citizens. As elected officials, we must be committed to serving the needs of the community. We must continue to help ensure the safety, welfare, and be prepared for the emergency needs of our citizens. We must be dedicated in providing the highest level of fire protection and emergency medical service we as a city can provide. Okay, since Chief Platts has resigned, we have to decide on if, of the position as fire chief, as a part-time or interim chief until the position can be filled full-time.
Don't you want to leave him until we do get him a replacement? I'll make a motion to leave him in until we do find a replacement.
So, I was just gonna say,
Or do we have to make a motion?
well, we've got him, do we have anybody in our department who is still in the department that would,
Okay,
entertain?
I think the way it works is that you would do the next in command. If Chief Platts is not kept on in that position, I think you would do the next in command. And that would be Chris Slavage. And he's expressed to me that he's not interested. Then there would be Scott Payne, I think would be next. And then Andy Griffin would be after him. And in talking to these guys back there, Scott Payne has agreed to step in as interim chief until a replacement is found for him. And Andy Griffin also said that he would be glad to help in any way he could with that. So that's this council's choice.
Well, with that information, I would like to make a motion that we, excuse me.
I apologize for interrupting. There's a motion on the floor, and it would need to be withdrawn before that second motion is made. Otherwise, a second would be in order. Councilman Massey had a motion before.
I'm sorry.
And I leave the motion on the floor. And if we reject that, we'll talk to him. I think that's our best alternative. He's most qualified and most experienced.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Okay.
Do I hear a second? Okay, it died for a lack of a second. Okay, do I hear a new motion?
Okay, I would like to make a motion that we appoint Scott Payne as interim part-time chief until a full-time chief is hired.
Do I hear a
second
second?
that motion?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Keller?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Abstain.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Beverly?
Yes.
And to add to that, we're looking elsewhere for a fire chief. Have we got somebody in the department
That's
now
what
that's qualified?
I have asked Chief Platts that before, and he said he didn't think anybody had a second job, and they could not take a full-time
We'll
position.
See if they do want to.
But I have asked them if they know of anyone that would like to apply for that position or someone that they feel like might be qualified to step in, that for them to please send them to the city to fill out an application.
Okay, maybe somebody decides if they get in there and get to doing it, that they are.
Yeah.
Well, they would be interested, maybe they are qualified.
Okay. Okay.
At this time, I'd like to ask for an executive session for the city council, and the two topics that I would intend on discussing would be first to discuss the general reputation and character, physical condition, professional competence, or mental health of individuals. The second topic would be to discuss the legal ramifications of the legal options for pending litigation, controversies not being litigated, but imminently likely to be litigated, or imminently likely to be litigated if you all pursue a certain course of action. So that would be the two topics. You could do it at the close of your meeting and adjourn into executive session, because at this point I do not intend to request any vote following that, and I do anticipate it lasting approximately 30 minutes. But since I do not anticipate a vote following that, you can literally finish your business on the agenda and adjourn into executive session if that's your choice.
Okay, would y'all rather just
We
finish?
need to do a motion for that then.
Absolutely.
Motion to adjourn after we get through
And
into executive session.
so finish your business.
Yes.
Do I hear a second? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pt2of Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Okay, mayor council comments. I do not have any comments at this point. Does any of the council have any comments?
I do.
Okay.
As far as Ann Cowan resigning, I think we have to vote to accept her resignation, and I don't think any of this council would ask her to do that. I mean, we were in the heat of controversy when she said that. She serves ably and well, and I wish she would retract her offer for a resignation.
Anyone else?
I would just like to thank everyone that came and spoke tonight. We really appreciate your time, and we wish you all the best.
Yeah, I'd just like to second Councilperson Brown's comments. Thank you all for coming out and letting everybody actually see you in person instead of reading what you had to say in the paper or otherwise.
And we've got some more distinguished people here now that I'm to recognize. The school teachers. How many of you
Please
still here?
stand, please stand. State your name.
I'm really proud of this one right here.
And what school, please?
I am Tracy Ann Massey Reese, Springville Elementary School for 16 years. I'm Angela Preston. I'm Springville Middle School. I've been in the county now for 6 years.
And I am Kate Pardon. I am from Odenville Intermediate, 3rd grade. I've been there for 8 years.
Thank you, ladies, for coming out. Anyone sign the book to speak, please?
Mike Howard, great cop.
Oh, yeah.
No, they still talking.
Yes, sort of out of my role as city attorney, I wanted to, as a citizen, since it's a citizen comment, I'm going to be paying close attention to whoever gets the position and your work, because my daughter's in school right now. She currently works for St. Clair County, but she wants to be a teacher in the system, so I'm going to be paying close attention.
Okay. There's several of us going to be paying close attention. My daughter works there.
And I'm his daughter's boss.
You're my boss too. In the summer. He's really my boss.
We had a complaint about the tow monkey thing, and I'll have a talk with them.
Okay.
Some of that junk that's there is actually mine. He was supposed to got it fixed 6 or 8 months ago, and it's still sitting there, so.
So you're going to take care of it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
We need to act on that letter that Corky hasn't sent about.
No, it's a, just can't.
Yeah.
It's just
That would just be all the information, okay. Okay, motion to adjourn?
motion.
All in favor? Thank you all for coming out, appreciate it.
Even with all the politicians, that's the short we've had.
We're still here.
Rescue it, save it.